New ban list for Mastodon. And whatever it is, we're going to have a $1,000 tournament qualifier on twitch.tv/DK this Sunday with the new ban list applied. I'll make sure to see you there. And let's see what the tier list looks like. Boom. Draco Tail and Yummy are the two top tier decks. We have Mitsurugi Yummy and regular Yummy splitting up their power level, which soon we're going to have a great tier list update, which will be combining the engines on the tier list. And you're going to still see the split that the Mitsurugi Yummy is the 13 portion of it. We also have Ryzeal Mitsurugi being, I guess, the third best deck, or you should say tied with Malice. They're quite similar in power level here. Now, what could this ban list actually be doing? Someone was asking me on stream, and I couldn't really answer because we are coping that Vanquish Soul K9 should possibly be coming with the New Year anniversary. And then we're going to be entering in a meta where the big three decks are Draco Tail, Yummy, and Vanquish Soul K9. Now, Vanquish Soul K9 is a singular deck. They're combined together. With everything else will be falling to the wayside. So with that, well, maybe they could hit Draco Tail. Nope, it's still in the shop. So this is unhittable. And Lunalight's actually been seeing prevalence only because it has a good matchup against Yummy and Draco Tail. But what's funny about that is Ryzeal and Malice absolutely crushed Lunalight. So above Lunalight here, half the decks it beats, the other half it gets crushed. It's a complete coin flip to play this deck. Now, let's see what the ban list is itself. Bam. February. Whoa, what was that? Oh, I just saw a Yubel. What the heck? Okay, I guess Yubel's going to be unlimited. February 5th is when also the New Year anniversary is going to be coming out. So hopefully it's going to be having a ton of great stuff with it, as I'll be streaming that day a $1,000 tournament qualifier with all the new stuff that comes. We're expecting structure decks. I'm coping that maybe the new overframe cards are coming. K9 should be coming. Hopefully Vanquish Soul is also coming. And then we'll have the big three, as I was just saying earlier. Now, cards be unlimited. I think it's going to be the Yubel card, right? Yes. Phantom of Yubel, still limited to 1 in TCG and OCG. That's crazy. Only we in Mastodon get a fully unlimited Phantom of Yubel. And it's good for Konami to treat Mastodon differently because it is a different game. We're best of one only. Let the TCG and OCG players have their own format and make you custom tailor ours for Mastodon. So what does this mean for Yubel? I have to look at the deck breakdown to see what the current state of the deck is, but you know, that is good. From 2 to 3, but the deck has not been really relevant lately, and going from 2 to 3, is that gonna be a big deal when you already had 2? I'm not so sure about that, but let's keep on going down. Maiden of Hawaii, there you go. I forgot, I think they put Sage to 2 and then they unlimited it right away. So now you have Blue Eyes back to being fully unlimited. And I am suspecting, this was actually one of my predictions on stream because new Blue Eyes stuff should be coming out the New Year anniversary. And the hope is that it would be the new overframe Blue Eyes. And now you have Maiden at 3 to be played with that. So good on this. I think it was overdue and possibly not even necessary to do to begin with. Let's keep on going. Lightning Storm. Okay, whatever. 2 to 3. Why did this even go to 2? I don't remember. What was going on there? Maybe Tenpai was abusing it, I guess. All right, great. Well, now we're back at 3 and no one's going to care. All right, let's see. You know, this is a good side deck card, but we have no side deck in Master. No plans for it, right, Konami? Let's see. Snake Eye Oak from 0 to 3. It's fully back. What the heck? Oh my, again, same thing with Yubel. I got to look at all the other hits or unhits that are with Snake Eye in the deck total. We have Diablo Star at 3, which is limited to 1 in OCG. Original Sinful is banned in TCG, but we have it at 1 in Master Duel. I think we have Snake Eye Ash and, Snake Eye Ash and Poplar are limited to 1 for us. So, I mean, I guess we don't know what this ban list possibly is unhitting them, but we're just going to have a bigger overview. There also was other recent unhits with Yubel, with the Spirit Gate was a big one also. All right, so as long as this doesn't become the new tier 1, I'm okay with unhitting this. I guess something to note is they don't have Apollo USA anymore. Apollo got banned because of Malice, and Apollo was a massive part of Snake Eye. Maybe we'll start seeing Snake Eye Mitsurugi being a deck type. All right, let's keep on going. Let's go. Cards to be semi-limited. All right. You know, this is kind of interesting. The Lightning Storm is the least impactful, I'd say. What? No. This confirms it. Vanquish Soul raising to 2. Why am I excited? I'm not happy that this is getting restricted. It's just, this is Konami telling us verifiably straight up 100%. Remember with the Yummy hits, and then we said Yummy's coming because of it, and then Yummy came out. This means Vanquish Soul is freaking coming. And while we don't have any indicators from Konami that K9 is coming, but it makes the most sense that it's coming. It's very likely coming. You have to think it would make the most money. The Fiendsmith Engraver came out last year, which is a highly techable engine. They're going to want to do the same thing with Azuna, highly techable engine. So, ooh, that's it. The big 3. The big freaking 3 are coming in a row. Isn't that insane? We got Draco Tail, Yummy, and now we're getting Vanquish Soul. We're going to have a $1,000 tournament itself. The MCS, the Meta Championship Series, will be on Saturday, the week of when Vanquish Soul comes out. And we're going to have a tournament on the day with the Vanquish Soul cards coming out, which will be the last chance qualifier for the $1,000 tournament happening on that Saturday. Boy, am I now excited. But wait a second. Doesn't this mean that Draco Tail's the only... it can't get hit on this ban list. So because Draco Tail can't get hit, Draco Tail's the only unhit deck. Officially, Yummy and Vanquish Soul are both hit by the ban list, and Draco Tail unfreaking touched. Now, we don't know if a K9 card will come out semi-limited or restricted, similar to Engraver, we won't know from this ban list. We will only know from the pack announcement on whether they're going to further restrict Vanquish Soul K9, or, you know, K9 itself is going to be used in multiple different decks. I'm not sure if I would like to see Azuna semi-limited, but Konami might end up doing that. Obviously, they're going to make a lot more money if they just allow it to be playable at 3. Is it really going to ruin the game if Azuna is at 3? I don't think so. So for that reason, I think it definitely will come out at 3. I'm sorry, I'm just like stuck here because this is just such an insane confirmation that, you know, I was really thinking about for the past 3 months, if they were actually going to give us the Justice Hunters format, all 3 in a freaking row, and they're doing it. So damn, we have some good tournaments coming up ahead. Oh boy. Oh boy. And if you're out of the loop, this is doing nothing right now. This is not hit for any reason whatsoever besides a future upcoming support for this is the only reason why. And now y'all get a free UR. A free UR to go towards the Vanquish Soul deck. Great. Another hit, another one. Oh my Jesus. Stake Your Soul was limited to 1 in TCG. Ryzeal was limited to 1 in TCG and OCG, as you can see here. But TCG recently, they just completely unhit Ryzeal. They completely unhit Stake Your Soul. So now, boy, wow, okay, 2 and 2. Ryzeal, in a way, is a garnet for another card, Holly Sue, that wants to summon Ryzeal from the deck. So when this card is limited to 1 and then you hard open it, and then you also have your Holly Sue play, which you're going to be summoning during your opponent's turn, their first turn, aka your turn 0, you then miss out on that option. It just feels really bad. So at least having 2, it will still happen where you're going to open up 2 Ryzeals, then your Holly Sue can't summon 1 from the deck, which will suck. But, you know, at least that's decreased now. This should still be a very good deck among the top 3. If we have any trust in Konami, we'll see on the tier list. And now you could be thinking, oh, DK on the tier list, Yummy failed because Draco Tail's already better. That's not the case, though. This is not in a vacuum. They don't have a static linear power level like Dragon Ball Z. It's going to be with the context of Vanquish Soul, Yummy, and Draco Tail, all 3 existing at the same time. If Yummy has a good matchup against Vanquish Soul, and Vanquish Soul has a good matchup against Draco Tail, and then Draco Tail is having a good matchup against Yummy, then it's perfectly balanced. Rock, paper, freaking scissors is potentially what we're going to be entering with the New Year anniversary. Now, let's keep on going. All right. What? Another hit? Now, it is good that they didn't put Stake Your Soul to 1 and Ryzeal to 1, but this is a first-time hit. This has not been touched in the TCG nor OCG. Also getting freaking hit. What the heck? All right, let's see. The semi-limited, let's go to TCG stats. This is 94% played at 3 in Vanquish Soul and 100% played at 3 in OCG. Yeah, it's a straight up 3 of. It is a consistency hit, but, again, they didn't put Stake Your Soul and Ryzeal to 1. I mean, they're not going to hit Canine cards also, right? We still don't know. And I guess we're not done through this current ban list. They could still be hitting more Vanquish Soul. I mean, this really is out of nowhere. I don't think anyone saw this coming. What the heck is Konami doing? All right, sure. If it were keeping Jialong to 3 and putting Ryzeal to 1, as I already said earlier, Ryzeal being a Garnet for the Holly Sue combo, then sure, fine. Jialong is taking a bullet for Ryzeal. If you put it in that context and you're a Vanquish Soul fan, then thank you, Jialong. That was nice of you. Let's keep on going. All right. Ooh, that's it. What the heck is that card? I can't even see it. Oh, that's it for semi-limits. All right. What could have been semi-limited that should have been semi-limited? You know, as I said on stream, I could not think of anything that could get hit because Draco Tail can't be touched, and we're just waiting for Vanquish Soul. And this just confirmed that Vanquish Soul is coming. So far, pretty much nothing within our current meta has been hit, unhit. So what could be limited, though? Limited. Another Vanquish Soul card? No. I mean, these were the ones to hit if they were going to hit it. Okay, limited. Maxx C, let's go. We're just like OCG now. Yes. Now, I did say this in my OCG review that this meant it was going to inevitably happen in Master Duel. Of course it was going to happen. This should not be a surprise. You should just be happy that it happened this soon. It was what, only 2 months after it happened in OCG? Not directly 1 month after, but just waiting 2 is fine. That's great. Wow. That means that Maxx C should only be, if you're going first and your opponent's going second, if you play 10 duels, only one of your duels, you play 10 duels where you're going first, to be fair, to correct myself here. I guess it could also matter if they're going first because it's not fun getting Maxx C'd when you're going second. So whatever, 10 duels going first or second, only 1 out of 10 of them, should there even be a Maxx C that exists. There you go. Only 1 out of 10 of your duels will get ruined. And then I guess you're going to have to blame Fool Loss for your loss. Is that going to be the case? I don't know, but boy, retaliating C searches. I got to open up Yu-Gi-Oh! Meta because I don't want to get spoiled on any other potential hits here. Where were we? Where's Yu-Gi-Oh! Meta here? Here we are. Let's see. Okay, so this is not going to show anything that's hit in Master as long as I don't hover over any cards. But I'm thinking searching Maxx C. So are people going to start Small World search? Like Maxx C has normally been a bridge for Small World, but if we want to more consistently, right? I mean, if this card's so good, right? And even if you're going first, you're going to want to have in your hand, right? Well, Small World search, you minus a card out of your hand, then you Maxx C them for their turn. Okay, that's interesting. Sangan is another one. Sangan is a really good combo starter and yummy. This may actually become a real thing. Sangan search Maxx C and Yummy, make Almirage. Otherwise, this could search for Yummy, and the Yummy could still special summon. It just can't activate, and everything besides the Marshmallow does not activate. Marshmallow activates, the rest do not activate in the hand. So, oh boy. And then what's another one? Retaliating C. This is already very good against Draco Tail, and now that benefit of searching Maxx C, it's going to be coming more so into play. It's going to be a lot more relevant. If any of you have any ideas of other funny ways where, hey, I mean, the card's an element of 1, let's find ways to search it now. I'm not trying to encourage toxicity, but that's still kind of funny because you got to think of it like this. Maxx C in many ways is a floodgate. And if everyone still has 1 copy and you add in other ways to search this 1 copy, you're essentially adding a floodgate on top of your turn 1 board, right? All right, so that will be interesting to see. Let's keep on going. That should be the only limit. That's it, right? The semi-limits were nothing. So Maxx C is the only hit, and we all knew this was coming. So this is it. This should be the rest of the ban list. I think so, right? Ooh, what? Something's being forbidden. Something, what? This whole ban list should have just been limited to one Maxx C and the unhits, of course. But, you know, they did tell us Vanquish Soul's coming through hitting that. A ban? A freaking ban? What could be banned? Last time they were banning something was like Christia. Are they banning Protoss? Protoss is not really... Maybe they would ban Protoss because of Vanquish Soul upcoming, while Protoss could be decent against Yummy, not so good against Mitsurugi Yummy because they're split on the attributes. Draco Tail's all over on the attributes, but that's why we would not want to ban Protoss until now. I don't know. What else could get freaking banned? I don't even understand. Let's see. All right, cards to be forbidden. They just banned Binder and TCG. There's no way Binder bans coming on over to Master Duel. They could ban Splash Mage possibly. That's another one. Splash Mage? I don't know. I think this would have to be Protoss. Let's see. What? Ryzeal Cross? Wow. I mean, if you're thinking, oh, why not semi or limit to one? It's only played at one. That's crazy. What does this mean for Ryzeal? This is only happening in Master Duel. This has never happened elsewhere. Ryzeal Cross freaking banned? Now, I guess there could still be another ban here before, because I'm not like ready to jump into Ryzeal to talk about this, but I mean, we have stuff to talk about, but we got to get to the rest of the ban list still, but there should not be the rest of this. What? Unless Protoss is on here, Splash Mage, as I was saying. This is crazy. This is, wow. All right. I mean, this is their big Nibiru check. This would counter Nibiru. This is crazy. Crazy. Just a lot of things going through my head. Let's just keep on going. Then we'll get back to this, okay? Let's get back to this. Oh, that's it. Full changes. All right, where do we begin? I think we should start with Ryzeal. And I guess I already talked about Maxx C. We could Sanguine, Small World, Retaliating, see it. And then maybe I could showcase a little bit of Vanquish Soul. And then maybe let's see a little bit of what's going on with Yubel. Then we'll read some comments. How's that sound? All right, Zeal. You know, I guess technically, I don't know. It's kind of weird. I feel like Ryzeal in its current state was not going to be able to compete with the top three anyway. But for the Ryzeal diehards, I guess Konami feared that they wouldn't drop their deck and that they would stick with it instead of buying new Vanquish Soul. So this is your call right now. If you're a Ryzeal player, I think Draco Tail's leaving the shop in 2 weeks. So at this current moment, you have to take a stand. Do you want to play Yummy? Do you want to play Draco Tail? Or do you want to play Vanquish Soul? Because I don't think I'd be playing Ryzeal after this over the top three that's coming, with Vanquish Soul K9 being the third among the top three. Wow, not in third place, that is, just top three. Now, where's Onomat Ryzeal? It is here. This is a bigger hit for Onomat Ryzeal. They don't have a Nibiru check. What the heck? They spam special summon like crazy to the point where they're starting to play heavy slump. Because if they get Maxx C or Full Lost, they summon so freaking much that they're now going to use this against the opponent to shuffle all their entire hand back and then just draw two. Now, of course, the heavy slump play now gets screwed here big time because you would need the cross to negate an Ash onto the heavy slump. Because what else is going to do that? No, nothing. So now you can't negate Nibiru. You can't even negate Ash in the opponent's turn on like your slump play if you wanted. Just in general, this is such a crazy card. If you don't know how good Cross is a card that can't be chain link blocked. It just freaking negates the monster no matter where it is on the freaking chain. It is an insane card. So very powerful. It doesn't even start a chain link. Like, it's not like chain link 2 I'm negating. So you chain MST, you got to get rid of it before it's the card that it wants to negate is resolving, because then it negates it right then and there. The Vernislith Queen girl works similarly to Cross, but needs like 5 Vernislith on the field just to have the same power of Cross. That's crazy. So this really hurts this deck. I guess your Nibiru, it's not even a Nibiru check. You have Nibiru Insulation, by putting Eclipse Twins under Detonator. And then when they wipe your field, you reborn Detonator. But what about everything else that you're potentially building? Now, this deck is a deck that's abusing floodgates. They're able to, because they could summon so many monsters, they're using the fourth effect of Allenbert, where if you have 4 materials, you add a spell and trap card from your deck. And wait, they have more special summoning, right? Of course, they're going to be additionally special summoning another rank 4, like a wing beast monster Xyz, so that they could just straight up search for the Harpy Feather Storm, which just got banned in the TCG, and then floodgate through that way. They're also searching for Protoss very easily. Wow. Really sucks to be this deck. That's a big one. Now, what about Ryzeal Mitsurugi, though? Ryzeal Mitsurugi, they could similarly have insulation against a Nibiru with Eclipse Twins, but this is actually... this deck's fine still, because they could still protect from Nibiru. It's not being played enough here, so they're not reliant on Cross as much as Onomat Ryzeal was, because they instead, well, yeah, I'm just double checking that they don't have it. Photon, that's a different Photon there. This one, Galaxy Eyes Photon Lord. If they start off with their Mitsurugi engine, they can at least check the Nibiru on Photon Lord. Now, this is not perfect, because if you're checking and protecting against Nibiru with the Photon Lord, your X-Ryzeal is not going to search for anything. And, oh, okay, summon X-Ryzeal first. Well, if you summon X-Ryzeal first, you're now going to get hit with a bigger Nibiru. Nibiru's going to have more cards on the field to wipe out as you're trying to build towards a Photon Lord, so you don't even want to do that. So that was the whole purpose of having the Ryzeal Cross. And this didn't just check Nibiru, it just completely countered Nibiru in many of your plays. They couldn't Nibiru before, and if you were to have the right hand and right setup of sequencing your plays. But so now you just have a weaker Nibiru check, overall weaker for the deck. Very interesting. Boy, I don't know. It's like, it's still a powerful deck. It just loses out on that Nibiru check. Now, Nibiru really sucks against Dracotail. It can be decent against Yummy. You know, you'll trade with the Herald of Arclight or Nibiru the field right before they make it. Nibiru stocks might be going up, or people will just be dropping Ryzeal for one of the top 3 decks. That's the situation. This is a money move, straight up. This is pushing Ryzeal players to play Vanquish Soul, Yummy, or Dracotail. You play one of those 3 or get out is what Konami's saying. That's what I'm seeing. And if you really liked Ryzeal, I'm sorry. I mean, it's still going to be a playable deck. Obviously, you can get Master 1 with it. But to be top tier, super meta viable, even the Onomat version, I think, is really just not a good idea to play. That's going to be such a janky gimmick floodgate deck with no real protection. It's like, I don't think about that one. Yeah, that's pretty much dead. But I think this is still a deck. This is still something. What else do we have to talk about? We have Yubel, Blue Eyes. Now, there's huge cope on Blue Eyes. They are changing stuff with the Blue Eyes pack. And if I type not released, Blue Eyes, there, besides alt arts, the only real unreleased card is the new Overframe card, the White Phantom Beast. There's pretty much nothing. So why are they adjusting cards in game? And then also, this further tells us possibly that this, I don't know, this is, it feels to me like another sign. I feel like there's 2 signs now pointing to a very early release of the Overframe art coming to Master Duel. And it wouldn't just be Blue Eyes, it would also be the Dark Magician one. And the Dark Magician one is way better than the Blue Eyes one. So here I'm sitting thinking that we're going into a Vanquish Soul, Yummy, Dracotail meta, and there might be a 4th best deck, because I think Dark Magician is actually a real contender for being one of the best decks. Because you very consistently are going to be summoning your Dragoon, not that we're getting the Overframe Dragoon, thanks to the new Overframe version of Dark Magician. This just, now, we have no testing for this. It's not in OCG right now. It's not in TCG. So if this were to come out, it'd be the first time in Master Duel, and we have Anaconda with this. Wow. We might have 4 different top tier decks. Now, again, I could be hard coping that this is a crazy prediction. I'm not saying it's super likely or very likely. It's a big maybe. But I feel like a lot of things are pointing towards it. They did change a lot of Dark Magician stuff in game. Dark Magician structure deck got changed. Some people are suspecting that Dark Magician structure deck will possibly be the new campaign for new players to come in. And if this comes with it, holy moly, Master's gonna be crazy if that would be big on Konami, because this is anniversary worth, right? Do you really want to wait till 2027 for this to come out? They're gonna wait until then because that's when they make the most money. They have the most players comes to the game. They got to take a leap of faith for Master Duel. It's got to stop being the side game, the redheaded stepchild that they're ignoring and just tossing stuff aside and barely maintaining it with probably just one dev, and it just makes a lot of money for them. Put in some real care, and this would show that. This would be huge. Oh my goodness. Now, that's what I have to say about Blue Eyes. And what about Blue Eyes? Okay, sure, Maiden at 3. The new Blue Eyes is not really changing the deck that much. It's a one of at best. I think new Blue Eyes, actually they announced another new Blue Eyes card. There's probably someone screaming at me like, what the heck, what about a new Blue Eyes card? This one. Would this also come with it? Maybe. This is another starter. Add a light tuner from your deck to your hand. I didn't really evaluate Blue Eyes after this was announced. In my Blue Eyes video, this didn't exist. We just had this card that's a one of, but now we have a 3 of. Add a light tuner from your deck to your hand. If a Blue Eyes Ritual or Blue Eyes White Dragon is sent to your graveyard, you could target one of them, special summon this from your graveyard or your hand. And if you do, its attack becomes that monster is also banished. So this could be not only adding consistency to your deck, but increasing the power ceiling of your turn 1 play. All right. Interesting. Very interesting. It does something with its level, right? Its attack becomes that monster attack, also banish it, leaves the field. Oh, it's level 10. Because I remembered something about reading this because you could not turn this into a level 9 synchro. This would be a seals. I guess you add a Heretic Seal on top of your board of all your other synchros much more easily. Sure. Yeah, this is a big boost to the deck. Big time. Now, let's see. Yubel. What's going on with Yubel? If we go on over to Yu-Gi-Oh! Meta and we type in Yubel, besides the Phantom of Yubel, I guess that's the only card limited to 1, and it's not doing anything, so not really anything to talk about there. Yubel itself, let's see, the Yubel Fiendsmith could be a good thing to look at. What is good here? Fully unlimited Phantom of Yubel. Was there any other restriction they were dealing with besides the Spirit Gate, which that recently got fully unlimited? And even with that happening, the deck is just kind of sleeping. It's not able to compete with a post Ryzeal, Malice, Dracotail, Yummy meta, and now Vanquish Soul Canine will be coming. I guess it's just a power crap deck. And if it's not able to compete with 2 Yubel, Phantom of Yubel, I don't see how 3 Phantom of Yubel is going to make that big of a difference unless it is consistently being summoned turn 1, all 3 Phantom. If a third Phantom of Yubel is giving you at minimum good hand trap, like, so theoretically, let's say a normal Yubel combo is going through 2 Phantom of Yubels, then a third one could be good because if we actually end up negating something, let's say a Nibiru or an Effect Veiler or an Ash Blossom, we would then still be able to summon a third copy, and that would be a meaningful boost to the deck's power ceiling. I'd say so. It wouldn't increase their hand trap resistance because they already have it on the field. They're stopping the hand trap. And if their field is not as good after losing their Phantom of Yubel because they can't summon a third one, then okay. That is the scenario where this would be a big deal. I have not touched Yubel in a while, so that's just my theoretical on why this would be a big deal or not. It would be fully based on that turn 1 scenario. Let's see. Oak, though. What the oak is going on? Snake Eye. Fictinium, we got to update these combos now, man. What the? Apollo USA banned now. So everyone moved on over to the other Snake Eye deck, which is Snake Eye Fiendsmith or Snake Eye Fire King. Those are the better decks to be looking at here. And they are doing nothing. See, if Apollo 100%, that's because there's no real new decks being created for this. This is just left in the dust after the Oak ban and all the newer cards coming out. If we take a look on over to TCG, why is this deck bad there? They don't have Original Sinful. So this is not a good thing to look at. Let's see OCG. OCG, Snake Eye Fire King. They have limited one Diablo Star. They are not even playing Oak. Huh? So I guess this doesn't really mean anything for Snake Eye Fire King because we actually have a better Snake Eye Fire King than OCG since we could play 3 Diablo Star if we wanted to, up at least 2 possibly if we wanted. All right, so I guess for Snake Eye Fire King, this is not really anything to talk about. So what about Snake Eye Fiendsmith though? In the OCG and Snake Eye Fiendsmith, what are they missing? Well, they actually just lost their Moon in the Closed Heaven, so how relevant was this deck when Moon was still playable? They also lost Apollo in OCG. As you can see, there's no Apollo all the way down here since it did also get hit. The Original Sinful is intact. Some were even playing 2 Oak, 1 to 2 Oak. And as I was saying earlier, the 1 Diablo Star, we would definitely boost that up in Snake Eye Fiendsmith. And only 1 Engraver, we have 2. This might be a deck for Master. We may have something. And we can now play it with Mitsurugi. Snake Eye back with Mitsurugi and Fiendsmith. That is interesting. So talking about Nibiru with Ryzeal, what happens here? The Apollo is a good Nibiru check. We have not a Nibiru check, but Nibiru Insulation with the Flame Burst in the back row plus the field spell. Where's the field spell? I can't find it. The field spell summons it from the back row if you get hit with the Nibiru. This one, Divine Temple, if you want to play that. Apparently a lot of them are not playing it. Otherwise, the Fiendsmith engine helps you go into the out, whereas the Caesar, Wave King Caesar, being able to negate Nibiru. So, this would be the Apollo replacement. If we're trying to think about old Snake Eye Fiendsmith and now going into the new, this would be definitely you're playing Fiendsmith, of course. I mean, it is called Fiendsmith Snake Eye. All right, that makes sense. They put in Horus and the Millennium. We kind of liked Millennium. And we were playing Millennium, so similarly to what I said with Ryzeal, not only do we have Wave King Caesar to help replace Apollo, but if we want to be helping to play this to more consistently go into Fiendsmith plays, you could also just make a Photon Lord, as we just said with the Mitsurugi engine. Photon Lord is another way to give us hand trap resilience before committing to our Snake Eye plays. That's definitely something. You are able to easily make this because of the Doom Dragon. This is 6, this is 8. The Doom Dragon will be 8 plus 8 on this mate. Or if you need the consistency, go into the Zombie Vampire. Otherwise, if you don't need Zombie Vampire, Photon Lord would be the way. And then ideally, you could still make the Moon in the Closed Heaven without needing the Photon Lord, obviously. All right. We're October 10th. Yeah, this deck obviously died once they lost Moon. But how relevant was it? September, big gap of no tops. July, no tops. I think this is in a better spot than Yubel, but overall, it's going to be the big 3. The big freaking 3, Draco Tail, Yummy, and Vanquish Soul. Now, let's take a gander at what you should be expecting with Vanquish Soul. Vanquish Soul, now we don't know. Holly Sue could also come out restricted. That is a definite possibility. They could even potentially hit a Canine card, Azuna, similarly to Engraver, as I said earlier. I don't think they will, though. I think they're done with the hits. We should be getting it at full power beyond the Raisin and the Stake Your Soul and the Jiaolong being semi-limited. Now, the Halasu is going to be a turn 0 disruption. It can non-target take control of a monster with the lowest attack on your field if you're dealing with Vanquish Soul. Otherwise, you got to be careful of your columns. Now, you can't really be careful besides making sure you don't summon too many good things in the extra monster zone and then a monster right behind it. Because if you, let's say you have something in the right monster zone and then you put a good monster right behind it, they now could summon Holly Sue and then special summon a Raisin from the deck, and then Raisin from the deck on turn 0 destroys all monsters in this column. Your extra monster zone, your main monster zone. You don't want to lose 2 monsters in one go. And if you're pointing backwards, then sorry. If you get a second link out, both of them are going to go. That's a big play there. Now, with the Canine engine, if Canine comes out, which it should, and you're right, I'm already like saying this, like Canine's a definite thing. I think it's very likely. Crystron's going to be a new deck also. Well, it's going to be returning back to being a good deck. A lot of Yummy players will be enjoying the Canine version, even though OCG did not like it in Yummy at all. As you can see here, 7% playing it. That's not a lot. Now, to be fair, it is semi-limited in OCG, but I think even when it was at 3, it still wasn't really seeing much use. The pure Canine deck's not going to really be a super top-tier contender, but, you know, Fiendsmith Control was something that never really popped off in TCG and OCG. And I think a big reason why Fiendsmith Control is so good, or was so good, is because there's no side deck in Master Duel. So it essentially was, the deck itself was the side deck. It was side deck the deck. And maybe that will make a return with Canine. Maybe Canine Fiendsmith will be a deck. So if you want to look at this, you type in Canine and then the semicolon, cannot special. This will tell us if they have a summon restriction. So something popped up. What's this? Special summon from the deck, but you cannot special summon from the extra deck except Canine while you control that face-up monster. That is a fake restriction. Not a big deal. Get rid of the special summon monster by, of course, making a Canine Xyz, and then you're in the clear from there. All right. So, you know, just to see how this works, this is how you see summon restrictions, a good way to do so. It usually works well across the board. There's some differences in some decks. Now, what the Azuna is going to be doing mostly for this necklace example, Vanquish Soul TCG, during your own turn, they could special summon a Nash Knight. This is turn 0 Nash Knight. Non-target is going to suck up a monster on the field. Your monster's gone. It's not banished. It's not in the grave. It's not back in your hand. It's under this as an Xyz material, which is not even considered leaving the field. If you had some sort of effect of the opponent's making you leave the field by card effect, nope. Otherwise, you could also have this, Valen. Valen will quick effect flip a monster face down, and then on the follow-up, the next turn, they can flip another monster face down, and then if they link off with this, it then triggers to destroy a set card. So this could see a lot more benefit than Nash Knight. Nash Knight's a more powerful effect. The non-targets suck, but the targeted, double targeted face down flip and then also destroy a face down, that's definitely something. I don't have much experience with the Jax being summoned. Will this be summoned? If this card is Xyz summoned on the Xyz summon, or if your opponent activates a monster effect in the hand or graveyard, you will then be able to trigger this effect to target a monster in the field and destroy it. Yeah, Nash Knight's definitely better than that. And so what other main disruptions? With the field spell, they're going to be able to very consistently have a non-target destroy the entire field with the Vanquish Soul Snow Devil. Be ready for that. They also are going to consistently have this setup. The Canine Force Release. Non-target, destroy one card in the field. And then probably the biggest nuisance, the most annoying thing, if we're thinking about Ryzeal Cross, this deck kind of has a Ryzeal Cross. What the heck is the Cross? Where's my Ryzeal Cross? There's a lot of cards with Cross in its name. Ryzeal Cross. Well, the Cross in Canine is the Ripper. This is another big reason to be playing, well, probably maybe a lot of people would say the reason, alongside Nash Knight, turn 0 Nash Knight. On your very first turn, you're summoning a Ripper to then be able to negate any monster effect that activates from the hand or graveyard. This will negate Nibiru. This will negate Veiler. This will negate Ash. Anything you want, negate it, mate. So that's definitely a big part of the deck. This is there, as I said, Ryzeal Cross to help protect themselves, given the good hand trap resilience, which is funny. We take away their Cross, and then now we have another deck that pretty much has their own Cross play. Great. So there you go. That's kind of what you should be expecting of this deck. Those are the main disruptions, the newer ones on top of the old ones. They'll have Valius to pop a card in the field, sure. Okay, well, I'm excited. I am very excited for the Vanquish Soul, Yummy, and Dracotail meta we're entering. The TCG players, they said that it was the best format ever. So according to them, we're about to enter Wonderland, where Master Duel is going to be fixed. It's the best game ever. And what's really interesting is Konami had a release cadence of giving us a good pack, bad pack, good pack, bad pack. But they gave us, this is completely unprecedented, Dracotail, Yummy, Vanquish Soul, and Canine. Again, Canine is just very likely. That's my huge hunch that should be coming out with this. This is insane. I do think Konami is responding to the massive player drop that happened with Malice coming out. It's not worth it to be so lazy. And you know what? Sometimes good things happen because something bad happened. And I do believe there were red alarm bells in the Konami office, where I do believe Konami was selling Master Duel to the executives as an easy to manage free money tree, where it needed very little effort, just free money, pick from it, and you don't have to do anything else besides it just grows money endlessly. Well, with the Malice situation, the Malice problem alongside Ryzeal, the player numbers dropped massively. So horribly down that maybe they pulled a lot of their A-team developers and balancers from the TCG and OCG to come work on a Master Duel. Now, I shouldn't say TCG. They have nothing to do with OCG or Master Duel. So it would just be the OCG developers possibly to do what's never done before. 3 good decks in a row. Now, I believe Vanquish Soul, Draco Tail, and Yummy were all made in the lab at the same time for the purpose of being released at the same time. They all complement each other, where we only have the context of them existing where they all exist at the same time, and that's how you get to enjoy them. It's not good to just have Draco Tail, right? A lot of people didn't like that. I don't like that. That's not fun to cast endless Draco Tail mirrors. And with Yummy coming out, I'm really disappointed in how dominant Draco Tail still is, if not even more dominant, because they have a great matchup against Yummy, and then Yummy is seemingly crushing every other deck besides Luna Light. So it's just really bad game balance. Imagine if they kept up with that stupid cadence of good pack, bad pack. We wouldn't have Vanquish Soul until what, 6 months later? We'd be begging for a freaking banlist for Draco Tail, which is probably what you're still begging for. So thank you, Konami, for putting your head on straight. The game is going to only be as good as what people are facing on the ladder. And if people are endlessly facing a top tier deck forever, like Malice, you don't want to repeat that with Draco Tail, and they made sure to not do it. So this to me shows me that they really did pay attention to the horrific state they put Master Duel into. And, you know, a lot of you say Maxx C is ruining games. I joked that in the Konami servers, how they view Maxx C is, when you're going second and you don't have Maxx C, you're surrendering the duel right away, and you're only playing the duel out when you actually have Maxx C. But even with that, I'm sure you have all endlessly have written in the surveys how contentious this card, how unfun this card is, and I'm sick to death of saying that Maxx C is ruining our freaking tournament duels. I hate it. I hate seeing 2 great players, top tier. They both have pretty good hands. I'm getting ready for a good duel, and then they draw into a Maxx C, and then there goes the good duel. And then you have the problem of Draco Tail even being able to recycle Maxx C, which, you know, that's also quite nasty. So boy. And then huge cope. I can't even imagine how euphoric it would be if the overframe cards came out with the big 3 existing. What is Konami doing? Like, do they really care about Master Duel now? Well, what's next? Master Duel Classic? I don't want to. I got to be done speculating. This video's already ran way too long. Let's quickly see some comments. OMG, I don't know if I can say it on YouTube. Okay, another surprising Konami W. People are happy. Master Duel has healed, is healing. I used to pray for a time like this, Banlist. Maxx C to 1. Snake Eye back, I think. Rip Ryzeal for real. Okay. 1 less roach. Let's go. 1 cockroach, just 1 more, and we did it, guys. This is incredible. Yeah, I'm really, I felt so immensely depressed since probably July till up till now with the state of Master Duel, of just like, you know, everyone hates the game. The tournaments are, people are overly criticizing how unfun it is to watch the events, how they say they normally love watching my casting every single week, back to back, no matter what meta it is. And, you know, hopefully things are now going to be diverse enough again where that's not going to be an issue. And I could just be happy to run good tournaments. You know, I could be happy to watch and have a good time. And so hopefully good things are on the horizon. All right. I'll see you then. Thank you for watching. This Sunday, the new ban list will be applied. I rip Ryzeal for no reason on this tournament, which is unfair to them just for this tournament, that is. But I guess overall, I don't know what to say. I'm sorry if you're a Ryzeal player. All right, I'll see you. Let's go.